Hey everyone, welcome to SLP's Wine and Cheese. I'm Deb.
I'm Maria.
And here's our podcast.
For the realistic SLP.
Welcome!
Yay!
And we have the lovely Michelle Dawson here with us. Say hi, Michelle. Hi. So Michelle, she's a speech pathologist with Heartwood Speech Therapy, LLC in Colombia, South Carolina. She has a podcast and does online seminars with speechtherapypd.com. And if that wasn't enough, she also tours nationally with PESI Inc, speaking about pediatric dysphagia for the medically fragile. Yes. So basically, she's an angel.
Right, and we're not. And we're like, why are you hanging out with us?
But she's cool.
But yeah, she's goals.
She's goals. We want to hang out with people we want to be like.
And maybe we're goals for what she doesn't want to be like. Maybe. It's like a reverse psychology there. No, I'm kidding. That's just such negative self-talk. We don't do that here. I'm totally kidding.
But yeah, so we're in New York and she's in South Carolina. But so we have our own wine, which we will talk about now. Maria will talk about, and then Michelle is going to talk to us about what she's drinking.
Okay. We have something called a sparkling wine. Nando, Nando Fragolino. It's Italiano. Yeah. That's me trying to speak Italiano.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, thank you. I thought it was good. And it's so sweet, this wine.
It's very sweet. I got this one time I was getting my nails done in Bay Ridge, and or Staten Island, one of them, but they're the same place. And They gave this out, and that's when I had this wine.
I don't know where I got it per se, but I just found it. I had it laying around.
It might have been from a Staten Island nail salon.
It is very possible. I'm not going to say no to that.
Right. So you're going to say drink it?
Oh my God. You know what? This is so sweet. And to me, it's too sweet. It has a strawberry flavor and it's like strawberry juice with a hint of wine. Mm-hmm. But the cheese we got is amazing.
So you vote sink it on that drink?
Oh God. Yeah, I'm going to vote sink it. It's too sweet. And if I didn't have this amazing cheese, I would have really sunk it.
Right. I guess I say sink it. That means drink it even though you don't like it. But it's fine. It's good. It's good enough. It's nice. It's fresh. But I don't like the juiciness of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we vote sink it on our wine. But the cheese is good.
The cheese is great. Yes. It's called Dubliner. It says 100% natural cheese, which is reassuring.
Yeah.
And it's from Ireland, so we have some...
Mike wanted to get full credit for having chosen the cheese.
Yes, thank you, Mike, for this awesome cheese.
It is good. It's a hard cheese. It doesn't say any sort of...
Dubliner.
It's just an Irish cheese from cows. Yeah. But it's good. We enjoy it.
It's an aged cheese.
Yeah. But yeah, enough about what we're eating and drinking. What do you have, Michelle?
Right. Prosciutto? No, not prosciutto.
That's me.
Prosciutto. Good. We're happy you ate it.
Oh, wow. Well, let's hear you pop that bottle.
Yes.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah. It's like coffee in the morning, wine at night.
Exactly.
Water all day.
Yes.
You need 3 cups if you want to be a speech pathologist.
Woo! That sounds like a celebration. Oh.
Aww.
What kind of dog do you have?
Oh, good.
Wow, look
Well,
at that.
good. I mean, that's not the worst thing that can happen under those
Yes.
circumstances.
Good point.
Yeah.
Aw.
Aw. Yeah, he must look like Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, give it a sip. Tell the listeners what you think about it.
I like sparkling wine. Oh, good.
All right.
Good. Is it dry or sweet?
Oh, all right. Well, you have better luck on your end with the wine.
Well, I'm still drinking it. I mean, like,
So
it's not
sweet.
bad.
I feel like I'm just inhaling cheese to help get the wine down.
It's so funny, like, when you take that breath a little bit, swallowing does happen in the absence of breathing. But
let me see.
when you take that breath right before you swallow, like, I just breathe in strawberries. It's just like, it's just so strong.
Strawberry juice with a touch of wine.
Yeah. Yes.
Of course.
Ah. Mm.
Yeah. Right. Mhm. Right.
Wow. So
That's
So
great.
if you put a more desirable smell in front of somebody who is having swallowing difficulty, would that like increase sensory input and be more likely to trigger a motor response? Maybe. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right.
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 Exactly.
Yes. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like super savory, super spicy things,
Yes.
which typically kids are afraid of. They're like, if I don't want them to eat my snack, I'm like, it's spicy.
Right. Yeah.
Like, right.
Right.
Oh. Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, that's so funny. No, that's great.
Yes. Being nerdy is good, you know?
So you vote drinking on your wine? Oh, great.
Right.
Yes, true.
No.
And sharing is good
Right.
too.
Yes, we like to keep it too.
But if you don't, I mean, you just can only live in the present. So.
Right. We want you to make your flight. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I've missed a flight before, 2 flights. It will go like, I'd say like 5 really awful things in my life happens, and I'm going to throw missing a plane up there. It was awful. Yeah, it was bad. It was really rough. But I'm sure that wouldn't happen to you.
No, you'll be fine. Yeah. Just put a cork in it, literally, and you'll be good.
So let's get to some business here. Michelle, I was wondering if before we get into our questions, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, just like how you started off and where you are now, and you're a little plop, you know?
Right. Present level of performance. Where you were, where you see yourself, where you started, all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's by me in Jersey where I went to high school, not far.
Wow.
Oh. Well, congratulations.
Great.
You bleed purple now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Oh, really? Mm, you did. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Oh, no.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That
That is a perfect,
That
lovely ending to a very traumatic thing to go through. It's crazy just so that you don't feel alone in this. Like when I was in grad school, I was actually in an awful relationship that did also get rather violent, emotionally and physically and every type of way. So, I mean, it's just so crazy. I think that, like, I don't think back too much about it of like thinking like, I just feel like so much stronger than I was then and just like present and focused on what I'm doing currently. And I think I also made up for lost time. So it's just crazy, like what you can go through and get through.
Right. And such courage for you, both of you, for sharing your experiences, because I'm sure there's a lot of women who are in these positions or were, and they maybe never bring it up.
Right.
And that's like one of the big things is like being okay to talk about it and bringing it up and having these difficult conversations.
Yeah, and if you're telling yourself, like, I'm just going to do it for a little bit longer and then I'll stop, just do what you can to try to excuse yourself sooner.
Right.
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 Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, nothing can stop you. So you just keep going and, this too shall pass and you will be stronger and more capable.
Right.
On that note,
you have a lot of stuff we got to talk about. So that time you had to make up. So let's get to it.
You touched upon this for a moment. You said how we were reading your bio. So impressive. My goodness.
Yes.
But you essentially started off as an SLP-A in a public school. Can you just tell us a little bit about that position? Mm-hmm. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, I work in a school, so I know exactly what you mean. You have that, like, we're all in this together. It might be tough, but we have each other's back.
Right.
Yeah. Mm. Oh, wow.
But I'm sure you were present in what that person needed.
It's hard. It's hard in your first year to know all these things, to teach core, because I have a lot of students like that. And
if you were in that position and not assisted, then that's like not something you should feel.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. No.
I can relate. That's very possible.
Well, this is why I meditate every day. You know?
This is not surprising.
This is
Right. Right. You don't even know how long that person thought about that IEP goal. They might have had 60 IEPs to write, and that was one of 60, and then maybe each of them had 3 to 5 goals, and it was just something that had to get done that week.
right.
Right. Right. Right. Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, I love the skilled nursing facility because it's a lot of work. It's not like it's easy, but at the same time, it's not like this paperwork workload that's just insane like the schools are, and the guidelines and stuff that just like what you're talking about, like the curriculum or whatever else, whatever anything else somebody wants to put on you, even though you're the one who's trying to work with this individual on a daily basis. So I've always wanted to work in a hospital, so I'm super jealous. I keep applying, and I'm going to keep applying. But okay. I know.
So, oh, wow.
Hard for me because my boyfriend's a stand-up comedian, so we can only live in New York or California. And I mean, I guess he is still my boyfriend. So unless he changes that, I'm going down
Good point. Good
south.
point. So,
hmm
oh, right. Yes. Oh, good. We'll talk to you. You don't have to talk to them. No. Yeah. Yes.
Your accent is what's supposed
Right.
to be soothing. I feel
Right.
like if somebody were to classify our voices and dialects, I think you would get soothing over us.
Us and ladylike.
Sometimes the kids cover their ears, and I'm like, fine, I'll be quiet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That definitely we see that.
Oh yeah, I watch Sweet Home Alabama, and all of a sudden I'm from there too, and I'm like, oh hey guys,
Yes.
What's going on? I lived in Delaware for 1 year. This is how I talk now.
I'm not even gonna attempt. I'm not even gonna attempt to do that. So I'm gonna move on to the next question. So when you worked in the hospital, was that setting challenging as your first career as an SLP? Mm-hmm. Right. Wow. Oh, right. Oh, right. Welcome.
Oh.
Right. Oh, so you had everything under the sun. Okay. Oh,
Oh my
right.
goodness
Yes,
gracious.
that's right. Can't say
My
can't learn
goodness.
that yet.
Oh, I would not like. I couldn't get why he wanted to put the vodka in there, but the oyster. I mean, you can't even taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're big on the Jersey Shore too. We do that.
Yes, they
There's
are.
like oysters, or you could have shrimp, or you could have crab. Like
Yes.
it's like a Bloody Mary shot that you could take on the beach with all the Guidos.
I've those are quite my favorite shots.
I do like them a lot, but I don't think I'd put it in my G tube.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't know.
I mean,
Oh my goodness!
yes, that.
Who gave him an oyster? Okay. Okay, good.
Right. Oh,
Can you get drunk that way? Oh, right, because it goes straight in. Okay, good. Good to know. These are good facts that everyone should take home with
right.
them.
Good.
Facts.
Right. Mm-hmm. In your
Right,
courses, right. Right. Right.
right,
Right. Wow.
right. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I just feel like now I need to stop letting men hold me back and go down south so I can do all the things that you got to do.
Right.
Um, oh, okay. So we'll come test it out, and yeah, I'll like we'll figure this out. Yeah, so maybe this was fate. Okay. So, on our questions list, let's go. So yeah,
So
it sounds like it
halfway
was
point,
challenging.
so
Oh,
let's-
yeah.
so
It's at our halfway
yes.
point.
So at our halfway point, we just like to remind our listeners to rate us, review us, subscribe to us on iTunes, follow us on Instagram. If you're not already, we're at SLP's Wine and Cheese Pod. I'm Maria _Kutsonis SLP. Deborah Brooks, CCC, SLP. Michelle, I don't know if you have Instagram you want to give out or any.
Okay. That's fine. Those are very trendy,
Right.
just like the emerging art scene in Colombia, South
Right.
Carolina. That's right. Good.
Yes. I loved it.
And we just did Michelle's podcast,
Yes.
Speech Bites, and so we'll tag that in our description so that listeners are able to do a crossover listen episode. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. We tried to talk about leadership in the speech pathology world, and it was super informative even for us, and we were the guests on it.
Definitely learned a lot within that.
Yeah. The last thing I want to bring up before we get back to the episode is that we are going to be at ASHA this 2018. I keep forgetting these podcasts could be on air for like 5 years. So
Right.
in 2018, November, we are going to be at ASHA
Boston.
in Boston, and our table is 872. We are by the ASHA store, so come by. We're gonna have T-shirts. I'm gonna sell my coloring books, and anything else? That's
Yes, on our Patreon, we have released that.
We launched that.
We have released that, so check that out. Our first goal is for 100 people. No, 100 people for $2 each. So that's our goal. So if our listeners can help us meet our goal.
Help us reach our goal.
Yes, we would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, so if you ever felt like you listened to this podcast and it helped you in any way and you wondered, what can we do to support Deb and Maria, just head to that SLP's Wine and Trees Patreon and just pledge $2, and that will be a great help. Also tell your friends. And on that note, I think we plugged everything we wanted to.
I think we got a lot in there.
And we can go back to our questions. And I'm going to go tend to my dog who's scratching at the door.
Right. We'll have to keep moving. So, Michelle, did you always see yourself working with medically fragile cases? Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a common thing that we hear.
It's a common thing. Oh, that's not true. Yeah, let it get. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yes. Right. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Great. Yes. Goal check. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. So you kind of like
You didn't even know that they
yeah,
kept giving you that.
accidentally, kind
Yeah.
of incidentally.
They just knew you would keep saying yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right.
Right. Mhm. Mhm. Oh wow,
Oh.
that's cool. That is great. She's really selling the South. She's like, we have tattoos, we have it all. We have liquor. Yeah, sounds great. Yeah. Right. Right. Mhm. That's
Right.
great. Mhm. Right. Yeah, you really have to dig deep. I know what you mean. You really dig deep, and it's not always what you think it is, like what the obvious answer might be. Like, oh, he just wants attention. And it's like, no, 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 no. Let's go back 5 steps.
Right.
Whoa. Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so that kind of brings us to our next question. I was wondering, what do you think are the best, if there are any, and it could be more than one, certifications? Like, what are the most valuable certifications for a medical SLP? To-
Mhm. It's okay.
Wow. What is that? Oh, my sister is a lactation consultant. Yeah, and she is always like, she says that like the speech pathologist that she works with are miracle workers, and when she can't figure it out, she sends her clients to them. And I just felt like I wanted to be that SLP. People would send, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And lactation consultants are so passionate about their job that they are like super easy to work with because they love it so much. Like they wanna fix it. Right. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They have that smell. It's like, ah. Mhm. Right.
Right.
Right. Or if you don't have those reflexes integrated, you don't have that volitional control. So that's another. Yes.
It's so crazy. It's like, why
Mhm.
isn't this a part of the
I
graduate
don't
study at all?
know.
Why don't we have like fees and MBS and like all these things that like have to be extra things that you pursue outside of your already extensive
Right.
education?
Yes. I don't know. Oh. Mhm.
Right.
Right. Mhm.
Right. Right. But then also in terms of the financial obligation that would put on, like I could imagine paying for more school at this point in my, I don't know. I feel like I'm always like, boo hoo, student loans. It's like always me. But I'm like, oh my goodness, like
But the certifications aren't
I
always aren't
know.
free either. So it's
Yeah,
like, all
I
right,
know.
you're gonna
It's
have.
like sometimes I feel guilty for motivating people for pursuing this field, knowing how much of a financial burden it's going to be on them to have to cover all of the costs of it. Me too, which I'm like, as I'm guilty too. Hmm. Right.
Mhm. But you have so many tools. I think you could probably find an adjunct position, but yeah. Oh, okay. Great. Yeah. Mhm.
Hmm. Right.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Right. Yes, they're not.
Right.
Right.
I live in Brooklyn. Like that's, I don't even know. Like it's too expensive to live. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. But hopefully we'll see a shift in
Yes.
something so that, yeah, more professionals can move forward in the field.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it makes a difference. Yeah, it makes a difference, and you're passionate about it. So, your $100 is going a long way.
Right.
So at this point, we're going to go over tips or tricks. But since you're our guest, we were hoping you can give us 2 tips or tricks. So do you have any tips or tricks related to oral motor exercises, or just anything related to that topic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
Great. That's an excellent tip.
Yeah, I feel like in the
Thank you
nursing
for
home,
that.
we only use like food as any sort of dysphagia treatment, just like trialing and seeing. But do you use any techniques such as like effortful swallow or tilting the head?
Good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we
Yes.
want to hear about that for sure.
Right. Mm. Yeah.
Hmm. Right.
Right. Like flashcards, and I always think flashcards. I don't know why. I'm like, right.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Makes
go back
sense.
to the core.
Right. We talked about that in our last
Yeah.
episode too.
Yeah. Right. I feel like that's something I think about so often, not just with dysphagia, but also with just like voice and stamina. I have some little kids who just like are overall like they just struggle with strength and stability. And it's like they can't use adequate vocal volume or have any sort of like sustained phonation because they just don't have that core support. They can't like judge how much air that they need to produce a certain utterance, and they're just kind of like slouching and melting there into their seat. So I like to do like planks with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right, yeah. They look like a bobblehead. Yeah. Right. Because I think that also, like, even after that first session, even though you didn't like build up a ton of strength, you like you provided sensation to an area that's been like neglected of sensation. And so, like, it's just kind of waking up all of like the areas of activation. And then you're also like, once you start to perceive that area, then you can use it and build it. Just kind of like with anything that you learn ever. I want to. NYU has a multidisciplinary PhD that I want to do. It's speech, OT, PT, music, art.
Wow,
I want to do that. I can't. I think it's I think it's a PhD program, but it's like called like multidisciplinary rehab something. I don't know what it is. I just read a description once, and I was like, oh, that sounds like something I would love. Oh, maybe that's it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you can sing to them.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That's great. So then Maria's got, what are you doing? What's the next one?
So do you have any sensory stimulation tips or tricks? But you kind of already gave one. I guess you can count the therapy ball as one. Or unless you have another one.
Because that's going to also, that's increasing sensory proprioception. And the feet, yeah. So that's going to ground them. Yeah. It sure is. Oh my God, thank you.
Yes. Yes. My feet don't touch the floor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. Gonna see if the library has it. I have it. The library. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Uh huh.
Right.
Right. Wow.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's like a drinking.
Wow.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
very
Because
interesting.
if they have the feet, they get the feedback. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they would feel like they were just holding on to a nipple, like entangling from a nipple with no support
Grounding.
almost.
Grounding.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Got it.
Yes. Okay. Right. Makes such a big difference. Wow. That's so funny you mentioned that. One of the OTs at my school did that today. She duct taped. I was like, "What are you holding?" And she's like, "I'm duct taping the phone book." And she didn't even have to tell me. I was like, "Oh, so the feet can touch the ground?" She's like, "Yes, how'd you know?" I was like, I know, you know. So I'm like, "So anybody has phone books, don't throw them out."
I can't even remember the last time I saw.
I know. She kept her phone books for a good reason. So look at that. So do you before we wrap it up, do you have any tips or tricks you can give any SLPs that want to transition into being a medical SLP? Because Deb and I get questions all the time.
Oh,
This is a
yeah.
big question that we get. So since you are someone who is working with medically fragile, you worked in the hospital, do you have any tips for them? Right. Yeah. Well, okay. Yes. I know what you mean. That's a great tip. Okay. Yeah,
Right.
okay. That's all right. That's okay. That's your opinion. We're all right to our opinion.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Hmm. Right. The list goes on and on. Right. Included but not limited to all these disciplines. Yes. Mhm. That's
Oh,
great.
wonderful. We'll have to check that
Yes, you
out.
have to check that out. Heartwood Speech Therapy. Heart, I got it. I got it for you. It's heartwoodspeechtherapy.com. And they can get to see the logo you were referring to, too. Which it's purple, and it's purple because you bleed purple. You see, so everything's connected. Yeah. Right. That's
Exactly. I mean, why else get a tattoo?
right. I don't have any.
I have 4.
I'm boring, I guess.
But
I know. You're like the spokesperson for the South. Deb has to move to the South to work with adults. I need to get some.
over the snow.
I need to get some tattoos. So. Okay.
Do it.
Look it up.
Go get tattooed.
So we like to end with a quote, but we can share our tips or tricks. Deb, yeah, if you want to give your tip or trick.
I didn't even think of a tip, so you think of one right now. And
well,
I will.
You know, since we're talking about collaborating and working with other disciplines, I'm just going to take that tip or trick of taping some phone books, or it doesn't have to be phone books, could be just any books you want to throw out, and use them for a kid to make sure their feet are touching the floor. Because if you have all different ages and 1 or 2 chairs, and what are you going to do for their feet to touch the floor? Use some books.
And my tip or trick is going to be, I don't even know. I didn't even think of anything. You can use we did talk about like using different writing utensils. And what I did find to be effective in my therapy, even though this is something you might have to purchase, using like branching out of your typical art materials. We used oil pastels in speech.
I love oil pastels. I use them too.
It looked amazing.
Yes.
Like the artistry, like with the most basic guidance, it looked phenomenal.
I know.
It not only makes my wall look beautiful, but
right.
it boosted the confidence of
of
all of the kids. They're like,
true.
I can't believe I made that.
Yes. Oil pastel, they're really not that expensive.
They're not.
If I approve them, then you know it's not that expensive.
And it definitely increases your like hand strength because you have to like rub it and stuff. And everyone's like, oh, this is hot. Oh, this is hard. And I'm like, keep on going. So that's our tip.
Oil pastels, phone books, old books, just use them all.
And you already gave us so many, but if you have something to share, then definitely go ahead.
Yeah, they're so great, right? Yes.
And it comes out so good.
It really does. I agree.
Effortlessly.
So we want to end with our quote. Michelle,
I want Michelle to say.
Yes, I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead, Michelle. End us with our quote. All right. Yes. Cheers.
Yeah, and with that,
cheers.
We never cheers. Okay,
yes, cheers to that.
Do you have 2 glasses you can hit together, Michelle?
Yes. Yes, good. Or the bottle and the cup, and whichever one you want to drink out of is totally fine by us.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so that's been our latest episode of SLP's Wine and Cheese. I'm Deb.
I'm Maria.
And Michelle, say goodbye.
It was such a pleasure talking with you, and hopefully we could have you back.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
We'll figure that out. And we'll see you at ASHA.
Yes.
Okay.
Ciao.
Bye. Good night. Safe flight tomorrow. You're welcome. Bye.